Hi, I'm Khushi from India. I'm studying International Media and Communication Studies. I'm from India, a little city called Bangalore in India. It's in the south of India, and yeah, I studied IB before this, which really motivated me to take up studying abroad as an option. And I had to take a gap year because of COVID, but then I'm so glad I'm here anyway. I decided to go to university in the first place because I started to realize as I grew older that um, knowledge is more than just about learning things in general. It's about opening your mind to a set of possibilities, and that really intrigued me. So that really was my main motivation to go to university in the first place. And then I chose not University of Nottingham because apart from just academics, I wanted to focus on other things as well, so like societies and sports, which I really have been able to do here. So then, and apart from the campus, I think that inclusivity, that sense of inclusiveness is what I need, and that's what brought me here in the first place. Before I came to Nottingham, all I knew about it was the great campus because when I watched a bunch of videos, they all were speaking about the campus, but I didn't really realize the kind of impact that it really has on how we feel about this place. And I feel like that was upheld for me when I came here. But apart from that, apart from just the campus, I think I would say the opportunities that are available. I think that I had this image of university as a place where you can just be a part of anything that you like. But also after coming here, I think I realized that to be a part of something that you want to really be included in, you actually have to work for things. So you actually need to be active and actively take up activities and then take up societies or meetings and all of that. Just if you really want to get what you were hoping to get from university. So university back where I'm from, and then university in UK is very different. So I think that's sort of what I had expected when I came here. I wasn't expecting to be as independent because usually in university you're relying on your parents for most of whatever you want to do. So your expenditures and your choices and your decisions. But I feel relatively more independent when after I've come here because I'm able to make my own decisions. I don't have to ask my I don't feel the need to call my parents for every little thing that I'm doing. Or definitely I feel like I'm becoming my own self, and I really like that. Obviously, like I said, there's a lot of difference between universities in India and universities in England. So I wasn't really expecting such an informal environment because I would much rather have preferred an informal environment, but I wasn't expecting it. And so I remember in the first week when I came here, we had this trip organized to IKEA, and that just came. I feel like that just came out of nowhere, and then I was really excited for it, and I hadn't expected to meet very nice people, and then them just taking us there all together, and it really felt like I was moving away from home, but also it gave me a sense that I was moving on to another home. It wasn't going to be just a strange place anymore. I really like that. I think that's just one of those distinctive memories that I have from first week. So this wasn't a part of a lecture per se, but then we had this seminar, and then I think we had three seminar instructors, and they would obviously we were expected to do our readings and turn up, but then as we were speaking about those readings and our recorded lectures, we saw that the lecturers just tend to get distracted by their pets that they have at home, so they would keep running over the keyboard, or they would start growling and all of that, and then we were allowed to be like we were allowed to acknowledge it, and then I think that was quite funny because again, it didn't feel very formal. I feel like I keep promoting the residential experience team, but they really did help me because when I first got here, I was supposed to be isolating during the freshers week, and that wasn't very ideal. It wasn't fun to just be alone. So after I got out of isolation, I think I didn't really have much to do because most of the events had stopped because freshers week was over, and I so when I did go to events, I think I did look up for events just to do something at least in my first few months or first couple of weeks. And then I saw these events organized by the residential experience team. And I remember for one of them, it was just a little get together and paint session, and I realized that I hadn't really been painting for a while, and I really enjoy it. But then I think I just got out of it because I didn't have time to focus on anything else. So I was just doing my cooking and cleaning and all of that. But then I forgot about just taking time out for these little things. And then I remember, so in my hall, the residential experience team had organized a little get together and paint session. So all of us just sat there. It wasn't a big group, but then all of us just sat there painting, and then there was light music playing, and then they had all of these crafty things to do. So it was quite fun. Personally, I like the Janagali Terrace. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But also, I think one of my favorite spots would have to be the lake, of course, because I just love going there for a walk. And I really like the fact that we're allowed to go there at any time we like. We're not really restricted by university timings. I can just go there at 2 a.m. in the night and just enjoy the quiet there. I think that's one of my favorite spots. But otherwise, for studying, I would just say Hallward Library because it's nice and quiet. I think there was this little there is this little place, a store called Pot and Kettle in Beeston, and I went there a couple of weeks ago with my friends, and I really liked it because I really liked the concept of it. It was just no age limit, and then we can just choose out little ceramic objects, and then we can paint them however we like. Uh, but also, I really like Wallerton Hall because I love to see the sunset over there, and I like how open it is, and yeah, I like to see the deer there as well. It's sort of bittersweet because it would have to be the fact that I'm away from my family. As much as I miss them and I love them, obviously, I really feel like living away from them has made me recognize a lot of things about myself and really reflect on the kind of person I am, the kind of things I like to do, and the way I sort of go about living my life. I think I wouldn't really recognize that if I were to stay with at home with my parents back in my country. Um, I think my general outlook to to the kind of necessity or the sort of necessary skills that I need to survive has also changed because I realize that there's uh, more to living in university than just being able to cook or look after yourself. There's a lot more because there's also people around you, and yeah, the kind of choices that you make. I have a flatmate named Clara. I think I really see that she's always just motivated to do things, and then she's not really afraid to go somewhere alone. I think that really motivated me to uh, that really changed my outlook on things because she's an international student as well, and she was probably just as estranged to this place as I was. But I think initially how I was sort of I think I was just feeling alone. But then when I saw her just getting into things and doing things, not waiting for company and not being afraid, I think that really inspired me. And I really like to see that she's busy all the time. She keeps herself busy. And I think I sort of have the same thought process as her. So I find I find it quite motivating for whenever I don't feel like working or I just feel like I'm tired. So I think I just use that as inspiration and drive myself through my days. I had this notion about myself about being just being irresponsible and careless. But then as I got here, I always used to think that I wouldn't be able to take care of myself as in eat healthy and all of that. But then I think as I got here, I find that when I'm alone, I'm usually more motivated to do better for myself, and that's what I did. So when I got here, I think I recognized that I can survive when I'm alone, and I don't really. It's not like I'm not gonna fall apart. I think that's a very um, like a big discovery for me about myself because now I don't expect a lot out of anywhere. I know what to expect from myself, and I try to fulfill my expectations. I think it would have to be time management because I never really included cooking or cleaning to be a part of my schedule, but then now I'm having to do that, and then I'm having to manage my time. So for instance, I came here for the video recording, and then I've got another video recording after this. So then I've got my lecture and then a house viewing. So it's like I think I've discovered that I can really uh, plan my timetable and then make mold it however I like it to be, but also in a sense that I get things done. So yeah, I think that would have to be it. I think that my biggest skill that I've acquired and developed it would have to be time management. I'm a vegetarian, and then it sort of comes from my religion. So I think my family was in general, and the society I come from is quite strict about that. But then here, I think I'm having to, because I live in a self catered accommodation. I'm having to live with non-vegetarians, and I've had non-vegetarian friends before, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me. But then I think I wasn't just used to being around when it was like when it's being cooked or anything. So I wasn't necessarily used to the odors or the like just it being so close around to my food as well. But I think I'm getting used to that now. But that's the only challenge I can think of at the moment. I think I haven't really figured it out yet, but I know that I'm doing things currently to build up for the future. So then to sort of build my portfolio and everything. But then my sort of when I graduate, it would have to be like I want to find a new job. I think there's a lot of pressure associated with that. Even though I'm a first year, I feel like as an international student, I currently feel a lot of pressure. But but I am doing a lot of things to help me with that. So I think it should be fine. But I don't really have a consolidated plan as such. I like to think about this a lot myself. Actually, I feel like essentially to me a degree is just a certificate to show that you haven't been wasting your time in the past 3 years. But then it's the thing apart from your degree, if that makes sense, that you do that sort of stand out to me personally. So I along with my degree, I'm doing a lot of other things as well. And I think so my degree is sort of going to show that it's not going to be as much about just my course certificate as much as it is going to be about the things that I've learned about myself, about people, about the experience, and about living alone. I feel quite passionately about education, so I really want to be able to do something about that. But I think a dream. I don't have a dream like a dream, but then I have a dream job in mind. I think with a description, so it allows me to leverage my creative side, and then it allows me to basically it makes me want to look forward to it, because I think that was the reason why I chose media in the first place over say business studies, and that's the background that I come from. My family is full of commerce students, but I chose to do media because I really wanted to uh, I wanted something new every day. So then I thought that this might be a possible way for me to get it. And also, obviously, I love media and ideologies and just mass working.